One of those other bigger names are Trevor Lawrence. He's the quarterback who's most likely, it's a toss-up between him and Justin Fields, who's going to go number one in the 2021 NFL draft. And Trevor Lawrence came out, and he's in support of playing. He doesn't want the college, his conference where Clemson plays, which I believe is the ACC.
I think so, yeah.
So they haven't canceled. So basically, a lot of players that are on these teams have come out in support, and even guys who aren't players, just, guys like Dion, they've all been using this hashtag, we want to play. And, Trevor Lawrence made his statement on Twitter about why he thinks, guys should be able to play. He's basically saying, it's safer. We're going to be around the doctors. They're going to, check us all the time with the testing, and we're going to be in a more controlled environment where, we could social distance and be just overall be safe. Where he's basically saying that, if guys go back home and, some guys go back to fucked up environments that are, not as safe as the college, atmosphere, that, guys aren't going to be following the rules and doing whatever they want, which I do feel him. But, there's two sides to it. It's like, yeah, guys are probably going to get, in trouble, being in the streets, being in their neighborhoods, because they'll be back home. I believe that's true. You see it all the time when professional athletes, when they go back to their hometowns and they get into some bullshit, they get into a fight at the bar. Might be a dude who's been hating on this guy since fucking 8th grade or something.
You might be fucking Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, word up.
So,
yeah, you never know. But it's, like I said, I believe that portion is true, but is it really going to be safer as the virus not spreading? I don't think that's true. No one can predict how, what this virus is going to do. We've already seen everyone's plan has basically failed besides the NBA. And, even NBA guys have gotten it before going into the bubble. And no one, no matter how much they think they know or what they think the safety measures are, this thing could get into, one of these campuses and spread like wildfire. And then next thing you know, everything is fucked and you have to change everything up once again. Just thinking about it, like college is, it's even easier to catch a STD in a college.
Of course. And that's my thing is because I get it. You can go back and get in trouble in your neighborhood, or you could catch the virus in the neighborhood, whatever the case is. But you're talking about a guy that's probably going to go home and hang out around probably like 10, 20 people max versus a fucking packed college campus with hundreds of kids.
Yeah.
Or even your football team with 50-something man roster plus doctors and trainers and coaches and all that shit and water boys and everything else. So it's definitely more likely for an outbreak to happen, I feel like, at the college campus than it is in your neighborhood. I mean, I do get what he's saying, but, and Trevor Lawrence, you don't have to. You're one of the ones that don't have to play.
Yeah, definitely. He doesn't.
You got your spot locked. The only way you're not going number one or number two is if the Jets are selecting number one or number two, because they're gonna fuck the draft up. But yeah, you don't have to play. You don't have to force this. Everybody's already fucking salivating at you since 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, take it slow. We'll see if college football even happens, because at the end of the day, we know you guys want to play, but you don't control that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's, coming up with their theories and this and that, why we should play. And I feel them, If I was a college football player, I would definitely want to play as well. But yeah, you just, like how Dion said, it's bigger, it's bigger. It's bigger than, you just wanting to play, you wanting to get your shine on, you wanting to be on, the college campus and having fun and this and that. It's bigger than that. And, like you said, if these guys in the neighborhood, they're going to be around their boys, around their homies. They're not going to be around 300 people at a fucking frat party like how these colleges are.
Exactly.
And you think these college these drunk college kids. Because let's keep it real. I didn't go to a traditional, 4-year college. But the stories that you hear from college is mostly about drugs, drinking,
Yes.
Having fun.
That's it.
You never hear about like, wow, that semester was, I learned so much. You hear about people getting passed out drunk, having fun. And it is just what it is. Let's call it what it is. And you think those people are going to take precautions while they're at these parties and stuff and be like, no, we're socially distancing here.
Yeah,
Everybody
sure.
gets 6 feet, 6 feet apart. We're partying outside tonight. No one's going to follow that shit.
Nah, coach, it don't count. She was facing that way. So it's like,
come on.
I'm with you. And that's another, like, I've driven through neighborhoods or like around my neighborhood, and I've seen like a family or a bunch of friends on the porch with their fucking mask, or kids in the park hanging out with each other with their mask.
Yeah.
It's not happening at a college party.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, definitely not. These guys are young. They think they're invincible. Yep. A lot of them, if the virus hasn't affected them or someone close to them, they're still not taking it seriously. And especially these athletes who are in shape, they're going to be like, oh, look at all the athletes that have caught it and, they've recovered right away. And like I said, with like the STD situation, you go to a college, you're most likely going to get an STD if you have some unprotected sex. And you actually have to have sex with someone. Like, you have to get naked.
Yeah, that's
and
a whole
sex.
That's a whole different process.
Yeah, this is you could say hello and get infected.
Yeah, just because of naked faces.
Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of college football. I don't watch it every single Saturday, and I hope they do play. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't make sense, if they don't deem it as safe for these guys, because the last thing they want is for them to be like, yeah, we're going to play. What the hell you mean? Texas Longhorns have to play football. And then, a bunch of people get sick and maybe a coach dies or a family member dies or something. And, we're still like around 1,000 deaths a day. So this hasn't gone away. It's only gotten worse, way more cases. So, if that ends up happening, then everyone's going to want to point the finger to the college and be like, you guys were irresponsible. And they're going to change their tune so fucking quick if that happens.